Hey traders, Mike Sir here. Welcome to my stock market portfolio live stream where I help you analyze and I'll show you how I analyze US stock market opportunities on a day-to-day basis. So what I wanted to do in this new live stream series is essentially show you the type of trades that I'm looking for, see what type of setups that I'm looking for, and also show you, how I look for certain type of opportunities in the U.S. stock market. So, without further ado, let's get started. All right. So first of all, I want to let you guys know that just disclaimer that any discussions in terms of trading is basically my own personal opinion. If you This is not intended to be stock market advice, so please consult your financial advisor before discussing any type of stock trading decisions. All right, so that out of the way. So next thing I want to let you guys know is that this live stream is sponsored by Chart Prime. So before I go looking for any start opportunities, I utilize the software Chart Prime, and they offer a suite of algorithmic tools and indicators that can help you with your chart analysis. And specifically, the tools or the indicators that I look for that I utilize is that they have 6 indicators with industry disrupting features that you can load onto trading platforms such as TradingView. So what I usually do is, typically as you've seen in terms of my videos, I use my own chart analysis for each specific opportunity I'm looking for. And then what I do is utilize chart primes as indicators to give me further confirmation that my analysis is correct. Now, I'm going to be basically utilizing the chart prime indicators throughout this live stream to give me further confirmation. And if at the end of this live stream you want to try out the chart primes indicators, they are offering a 20% off limited time offer for my students only. And all you need to do is use the promo code MSIR, and I'll attach the registration link in the chat box where you can activate your membership. All right, so why don't let's get started here. Oops. All right, so we obviously had a very, very important day today with the U.S. Federal Reserve. So some of the market reaction that we have been seeing is actually quite positive to the upside. So typically, what I want to do is I'm just going to we'll look at the S&P chart. Okay. So let me just remove some of these stuff first. So the S&P, let's just go right to 5-minute chart. You can see it's a pretty volatile day. Since the Fed announced their decision, the market basically just dropped. And now you can see that the market is trying to climb back up. So as of right now, the markets are obviously positive, and what we're probably based on, if we were to look at the overall chart, is that let me just close this indicator for now. So if we look at the S&P right here, we've basically been in a downward channel ever since the beginning of this year. We had a big strong rally July to August, broke down, and ever since then we've been basically going down. A little bit of a bounce here, and only for the markets to continue heading lower. Now you can see here that this line that I drew right here is basically was support, now is resistance. So in the past 4 trading days, the markets basically have been going sideways. And if I can see the market break above this resistance level here, I'm going to try to look for opportunities for stocks for me to buy rather than to short. The simple reason is that the markets have gone down very sharply, even though the trend has been going down. I want to look for opportunities on the upside instead. The main reason is because the market's quite oversold right now. Even though the trend is still down, the risk to reward or the opportunities on the downside are not as attractive if the market does recover. Now, if you take a look at the NASDAQ, same thing. It has broken this upward trend line here and broken down. So ideally, I mean, if you were to kind of think about it, we're kind of chopping, just going sideways on a downward direction. But let's see if we do see the Nasdaq and we see the S&P go higher, we're going to look for opportunities on the upside. So I'm going to show you my watch list of typically stocks that I like to trade, and typically I like to trade a lot of tech stocks. Now, first of all, let's take a look at Tesla. Now, Tesla is a company in this chart that I see some pretty good opportunities. You can see right here that it is touching this 315 level or 314.69. So if I can see Tesla's stock price head above 315, or we can give a little bit more room, 315, I think that the opportunity can be quite good on this stock. Now, obviously, it's going to depend on whether the market is going to go higher. So what I do is I'm going to utilize Chart Prime's indicators and kind of give me some confirmation. Now, I'm going to use this Chart Prime oscillator. Now, the oscillator is essentially kind of giving me some market timing. It's a market timing indicator. And what I'm looking for specifically is these red dots and these green dots. So you can see here, this is a green dot here. You can see actually it was a reversal from red. So red was indicating that it would go further down. And indeed it did. And you can start to see a green dot here, a reversal. You can see right here. And then you can see right here as well, green. So it looks like Tesla has a good chance that it will break above this level. Now, if I were to add this other indicator that they have, it's called support and resistance. Let's see if it shows anything. Okay, it doesn't. Let's see if we were to use chart patterns. Okay, and there you go. So what you can see here, this is actually an ascending triangle. Hit this level resistance, come back down, hit this level resistance, came back down, and then ready to break out. So the chart pattern here that Chart Prime indicated is a potential break of this level. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably put on a trade probably around let's do 315.50. And I'm actually going to write this down for you guys. So that's, just bear with me a second. Okay, so Tesla is going to buy at 315.50. That's my entry. Now the stop loss that I'm going to use, I'm going to just clear this up here. I'm going to use the lows of today as my stop. So put a 5-minute here. My stop loss is going to be right here. So it has not triggered yet. It's now going down, so it might not. Let's see if it tests this level. My stop loss probably would be 302.50. Okay, so let me put this down for you guys. Stop loss 302.50. All right. And my profit that I'm going to try to shoot for is essentially this downward trend line. So I'm going to probably target 340. Okay. Now 340. Okay, so let me just write this down. Target price 340. Now, if we were to do our risk to reward ratio, okay, I am essentially risking, let me just, actually, let me pull my calculator here. My entry price is 315.50 minus 302.50. So I'm risking $13 per share. Okay, I'm risking $13 per share. If I am targeting 340 minus 315.50, $24. So I'm risking about I'm risking about 12.50 to essentially make $24. So I'm risking it's about 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. It's not great, but it's okay. Maybe perhaps if I target a little bit higher, like 360, that would make the risk reward ratio a lot more attractive. But probably I'm gonna because again you can see this downward trend line. It's being respected once, twice, three times. So targeting probably here. So we can just target 2-to-1 risk reward ratio for this particular trade. All right, let's move on. Okay, you can see Apple here is basically in kind of a downward channel, and if you want to look at this from a bigger picture point of view, it's kind of like a bull flag, right? You can see this pole here and this flag, but if it has room to go higher, I'm probably targeting about 159. So let's take a look at the chart prime oscillator and see what it can tell me. All right. So with this prime oscillator saying this is a reversal right here, so it's gone up a little bit, but then it reversed. So it doesn't really tell me too much. It's obviously in this green zone, but there's no conviction here. If I were to, let's just say, look for support resistance, see if it actually tells me anything. Okay, this doesn't. And then let me add chart pattern. Okay, obviously again, there's not really a clear chart pattern. So it's an okay trade. I might come back to this a little bit later. Since it has this upward channel here, I might try for a buy up to 59. But let's see if there's other opportunities. This is not like a great opportunity. All right, let's look at Amazon. Amazon is respecting this support line here. I just don't like the space here, so I'm going to move on. Here's one. NVIDIA, let's see if there was some support right here. Okay, it doesn't really tell me much, but let's see what the, let me see, actually, if I extend this all the way out here, yeah, it's not really helping. Okay, let me pull up the oscillator. Okay, so the oscillator showing some reversal right here, reversed a little bit, but didn't have momentum to go to the upside. Yeah, so it's not the greatest. Again, One thing that you will notice for me is it has to really fit exactly what I'm looking for. If it doesn't, there's hundreds of stocks that I look at. So I'll move on. AMD. AMD has been in a downward channel or downward trend. It's holding this level of support right here. I mean, there is some support right here. Right here and here. So, and then let me add a volume here. So there's some decent volume last few days trying to build this level of support. So it's not the ideal type of trade. I mean, essentially it's a double bottom that you're buying. Relatively low risk if it does work, but if it doesn't hold the support level, I'm going to essentially get out. So let's come back to this one. Nothing that, actually, let me add the oscillator. See if it tells me anything. Okay, see a little reversal here. Okay, that there was no follow through. Yeah. Yeah, so my analysis is correct. It's basically just resting sideways here. I mean, you can try it. Use very, very tight stop losses for this one. I'll come back to this one. Okay, let's take a look at Meta. So Meta clearly broke this downward trend line here, or support level here. It's clearly heading lower. So not a great opportunity to short just because it broke this already. A good opportunity to short was right here, 154. But right now there's no reversal. Okay, Microsoft. Microsoft was actually a stock that I was talking to one of my students about entering in. And it's basically been holding this support level right here at 241. So you can see a incredibly volatile day today. You can see the wicks. It's again similar to the opportunity with AMD in the sense that you have a double bottom. I mean, if you are looking to play the double bottom, essentially again, your risk was right down here. But let's get back to this one later. See if there's any other better opportunities. All right, Netflix. Now this is intriguing. Okay, I like this because this is where a huge gap. This is where they reported terrible earnings and the stock basically gapped down. And ever since then, it has basically been making lows, higher lows, higher lows, and higher lows, and ready to break this level. So this is actually very similar to the Tesla trade, but it just doesn't have that gap. So this is actually something that I might be looking at, and let's just put some figures together on what we should do. So I'm going to use this high here as the breakout level. So in this one, Netflix, I would be looking at an entry of 252. Went a little bit higher, 252.50. Okay, so I'm going to write this down. And again, all the trades that I'm making is purely just technical. Obviously, you have to do your due diligence on the fundamentals, but this is purely technical that I'm looking at. So this one I said, I think what I say, 250, 250. That's my entry. And my stop loss, which will probably be a little bit wide because this stock is quite volatile, probably has to be down here just because I have to avoid all this volatility. So it's probably going to be 237. All right, and then my target price is basically the gap fill. right here. So I'm looking at a target of 331. So if I were to do my risk reward, I am risking, let's see here, 250, 250 minus 237. I'm risking $15.50 per share. Okay, so how much am I making if it potentially works out? 331 less 250, 250 is 78. Okay, so in this case, I am essentially, it's almost like a 5 to 1 ratio, right? Let me just see. Uh, sorry, hang on, guys. Let me. My mathematical brain is not functioning today, so I use my calculator. 250, 237. Yeah, 1550. So divide by 1550. This is a 5 to 1 risk reward ratio, which is awesome. Okay, so if it works out, if it breaks here, targets here. If it doesn't, exit with a loss, a small loss. Now I'm going to use a chart prime indicators oscillator. Give me some suggestions. What's going on? Yes, there we go. The green reversal probably right here to the upside. And let's see if it does have the momentum to push higher. Okay, next one. Coinbase. So Coinbase is a stock that it's really depending, the stock moves basically based on the price of crypto, of Bitcoin. And it depends on what Bitcoin's doing. Now there is a support right here along this trend line here. It's not bad because you see here lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, and it's reaching basically a low right here. So depending on what crypto does, might have a chance to go higher and this level. So I might come back to this. Okay, AMD, similar. See this trend line right up here. So it's holding, again, it's very, very similar to Coinbase. It's not a bad risk to reward type of trade. Is if it holds this level, this trend line up here, then it could go much, much higher, probably targeting here. If it doesn't, you incur a small loss. So I'm seeing, that's why even though the markets, the trend is kind of weak right now, I'm seeing a lot of potential setups for the market to go higher. And that's why I see lots of the stocks that I'm seeing, especially the tech names, holding support. So again, similar to Coinbase, but let's take a look at another ones. GameStop, I don't trade anymore. Let's take a look at Google. Google broke this support here already, so I'm not going to trade this one. NIO is an EV company, not looking great, so moving on. PayPal is holding this choppy support level, not great. Square, okay, Square is holding some support right here, but you can see that it's still trending down. So I'm going to stay away. And also, just to let you guys know again, I am staying away from any shorts right now because even though the market is going down, there are no good opportunities to the downside for a lot of the stocks. So that's why even if I'm shorting, the reward is too little. All right, take a look at Shopify. So Shopify is similar. It's basically been trading this range, and if you think that there is a level of support right here at 30, or yeah, around $30, then you can buy right here, 31, and basically stop out, put your stop right here below that. But again, I don't know, I'm not too crazy on it. I mean, it's holding support right here, but again, it's very similar to all the stocks that have been kind of being iffy on, is because you're essentially buying support, buying the stock at support. Let's take a look at Roblox. Roblox broke this line here, and we extend this out. If it comes back down to here, the support, maybe I'll be interested, but not right now. And the last one that I'll be looking at is Airbnb, ABNB. This one is holding some level of support right here, but I'd only be interested in this one if it can kind of go up a little bit here, just go sideways, and then pop on that. So very, very similar to the Tesla trade and also the Netflix trade. All right, so kind of my ideas. You kind of got to see what I think. And what I'll do right now is I'm going to open the floor to any questions that you guys have. But before I do that, I'm going to give you guys that promo code for the chart primes. Because some of you guys were asking for that. So just bear with me for a second. And again, if you guys have any questions, please type them in the chat box. Any type of symbols that you want me to take a look at. You know, what's your thoughts on the type of trades that I identified, and yeah, let me know. All right, so let me just give you guys that link. Okay, just bear with me a second. So again, any symbols, any stocks that you want me to look at. Type them in the question box or the chat box. Just give me a second, guys. All right, so here's a link for 20% off if you want to try out Chart Prime's indicators. All you need to do is the promo code on there is enter. All right, guys, let me go through some stuff, the questions that you guys have. All right, hey Dennis, hey Richard, good to see you guys. Okay. Okay, so Mr. Dees has question for you. You're 24 years old, contemplating quitting my 9 to 5, pursue trading full time. I'm young, so I know now is not the time to take risks. I always have my degree to fall back on. What do you think? I have a methodology. I have break even, somewhat profitable. Yeah, I'll just answer this quickly. Obviously, this is not the right live stream for these type of questions. I mean, at the end of the day, it's really up to you. If you, I mean, you're young, you have lots of opportunities ahead. So you don't have, maybe you don't have kids, you don't have a wife, you don't have a lot of financial commitments. So if you do want to trade full time, definitely there's no lower risk time compared to scenarios where you have a lot of financial obligations that you can't quit your time or quit your job to trade full time. So yeah, I mean, I quit my job 20 in my mid 20s, so similar to your age to trade full time. All right, Richard says BTC. All right, now BTC is quite interesting. So if we were to look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin is holding this strong support level at essentially around 18,500. It has broke through briefly here in June, couldn't stay below. Tested here again in late June, tried again in July, tried again in September, briefly broke just a few days ago, could not hold and went a little higher. So this level 18,500 is quite strong. Now you can kind of use some of the chart primes tool. They have support level resistance as well to see if it's holding. And you can see here, this is the support level that they were referring to. Okay, so you can try chart pattern. Okay, doesn't show. Yeah. So sometimes, I use these just to see if I'm missing something. If we use the chart prime oscillator, you can see here this was a trigger for it to go lower on this red dot right here. So, I mean, right now, it's the same thing like all the charts that I've shown you. If you want to play support, buy at support, great. If you buy here and it breaks this line, then you get out. So very small loss, but you're not buying as it's going up, right? You're buying basically as it's going lower. So yeah, the setup is if it holds, great. If it doesn't, then it's going lower. Some people ask me, how much lower can it go? The levels that I'm looking at is actually 12,000. So this is where it faced some resistance around 12,400, and then it just broke up. So if it breaks here, all hell's going to break loose in the crypto market. But if it holds, you're probably targeting 22,000 on that. Salvador Gonzalez, hello there. Okay, welcome, Mr. D's. And Richard said the FOMC news impacted the market with crazy volatility. Yes, you are absolutely right. So generally, if you were to look at swing trading, I would not be swing trading today. And lo and behold, look at the market just turned negative from positive. You can see right here, if I look at a 5-minute chart. So on Fed days, FOMC meeting announcement days, great opportunity to day trade. Terrible to swing trade because of the volatility. So if you are a swing trader, like Richard, you stay away from the market, wait for the market to give you a direction. And also, now that the market has turned negative, I'm actually kind of shying away from those trades that I mentioned to you about. So let's just take a look quickly at those trades again. Tesla, yeah, see, there you go. It's turned negative. Now, it didn't trigger our price yet, so which is good. Hopefully, the market turns positive. If it turns positive, there's a chance that this price can break through here and go higher. And same thing for Netflix as well. Yeah, there you go. Didn't break this line, now heading lower. All right, guys. thank you all for attending today's session. I just want to let you guys know that I host a live trader psychology live stream every Sunday, and this coming Sunday, I'm going to talk about the psychological challenges that you face in trying to find that one big trade. That one big trade that could define your trading career, that could make your entire month or could make your entire year. I'll go through some, not just, I'm not talking about the technical aspects of how you can find that one big trade, but when that one big trade does come along, what are some of the challenges? What are some of the things that you need to overcome to make that one career defining trade? All right, guys, like always, thank you all for attending the live stream. If you love this live stream, if you love that I'm doing these live trades with you and looking for opportunities, please make sure you hit that like button and also comment and let me know that you guys want like these live streams. It gives me an idea whether you like this type of content that I produce, because if I don't get enough likes or comments, feedback, then I probably not going to host these type of live streams. So please make sure you do that, and I will see you guys this coming Sunday. Take care.